remodeling the fridge. The new luxurious. I ran out of options.
Oh yes. Ta-da! So Tim has his necessities: beer and salsa and water.
Yep.
And lunch meat.
First major appliance. The girls are less excited about that and more excited about that. That's what they've been wanting. A good box to play in.
Are you trying to roll them? This is what we do with refrigerator boxes, right? Where's the big hill? Oh no.
You broke my door. Okay, yesterday got all my breakers in finally. Now a couple of these are spaces where I've wired them. I'm not going to put a breaker in there now because that's just for the future. If we decide to get an electric stove in the kitchen, things like that, I've pre-wired those. I do need to get a breaker for this one. This is the sub panel for the pump room, which wasn't planning on, so it wasn't part of it when I ordered it. And then I think I need to get this one, I believe, and this one's blank. I'm leaving it blank for just as a space for addition. So I'm trying to keep everything the same. So this is all, you know, first floor. Getting all of our 240 amp breakers up here. This is all second and third floor. So I left, I think this is the pellet stove outlet, which wasn't planned on when I ordered this, and then I'm going to leave a blank there in case we need to add a breaker in there for something else on the middle level. But one thing I was not aware of, and it kind of freaked me out when I hooked this up, was that these make noise. They almost sound like a computer fan running. So I put them all in and flipped the main breaker and immediately heard this odd noise. It made me step back a little bit because usually sizzling breakers is not a good thing. But I did talk to Leviton this morning, and they said no, it's perfectly normal with the style of breakers these are. Put the cover on, you won't be able to hear it. So I haven't decided. They have a solid cover, and they also have a cover which has a glass front on it. It looks real nice and decorative. I haven't decided if I'm going to get the glass one or just the solid one. The glass one would look cool. Have to decide if it's worth the extra 60 bucks, I think, for the glass one. But I mean, I got my wires in. They're not as pretty as I would like, but they're not horrible by any means. This side turned out a lot better because, like I mentioned in a previous video, when I started this side, I ended up starting at the bottom, which was a bad idea because as I brought my wires in and worked up, I had to tuck them all back behind the existing wires to get down to my ground lug. And then coming in from the side didn't give me much room to make them pretty. So as comparison, you see on this side, I start at the top, you know, all the wires come down, turn in, turn. It just looks a lot neater than I think than this side. But I only have a couple breakers on right now. This was the original one that we had going, which is for the craft room, which is directly below me. I did replace this. This has a arc fault and a GFI. So ground fault and arc fault is included in the same breaker. Then this little Wi-Fi signal means this is going to send a usage information to a hub, so I can track how much usage the outlets use for that particular room, how much the lights use, and so on and so forth. Most of these are going to be arc faults. There's arc fault, arc fault, arc fault. So those are required in pretty much all your living spaces. And then arc fault, ground fault is required in any spaces that have water next to them. So I covered all my bases there. A couple of these do not have, like this one does not have arc fault or ground fault. These go to the appliances. So this covers like the outlet for the electric or for the gas stove in the craft room, dishwasher, things like that. Reason being is that a lot of times those appliances will throw false signals and trip the breakers a lot. So those don't have the arc fault or the ground fault in them. I think I only have 3 or 4 of those. But all these are Wi-Fi except for this one. This one runs the smoke detectors and is also going to run the Leviton hub, which will relay information back to the internet so I can see usage amounts. The power consumption on that is so low, I didn't feel like I had to pay the extra expense to get an actual Wi-Fi plug for that, or breaker for that. But I went ahead and ordered the one I need for up here and that one today. They should be here in a couple weeks, but they're not needed right now anyway, so it's no big rush. And then I'm going to get back to wiring a few things up. These other breakers that are on, all the breakers in the garage south wall are wired and operating now. And then this one is for the lights that runs the craft room, mud room, garage, and the lights on the back soffit. So what I'm going to do today is finish wiring those up so we can have nice light switches and outlets all around. I probably won't do any other wiring until everything gets foamed. I'm ready to hook things up fully. But this will make things a lot more convenient because we'll have easy access to switches and lights and things like that, which will make things great. Another quick thing I was working on, finished this wall up here. So that's at a 45. It's 45 down this wall and 45 is up with a little plant shelf right here. Ended up putting an outlet behind there. Reason being is we're hoping to put a big stained glass right underneath this header, and it'd be cool to have a little light back there that shines up on it. One thing I wish I would have done was all these walls, just basically this whole corner and this section sat without this additional framing in it for months. And when I came back to finish this up the other day, it was so twisted and so out of plumb. I had to do a lot of work to try and get this to really line up the way I wanted it to and get everything back straight again. So I wish I would have just taken the time, a couple months ago when I actually framed these walls to go ahead and finish it. Here in the girls' bathroom, got their 4-foot shower with seat in it. It only has the seat on one side. I hate those showers that have seats on both sides and you're constantly kicking the step when you're trying to take a shower. But their stool will be set up here. Vanities over here. The reason why these walls are bumped out because this angle, that's a 7-foot right there, so I have enough room for a mirror, and they'll get a 5-foot vanity. I got my 37 inches for my stool, so that's 18 inches, and then you have on each side plus your 1/2 inch for drywall. I've still got to run the plumbing for that. Plumbing is like a massive jigsaw puzzle. That really stinks.
In more ways than one.
Huh?
In more ways than one.
So my plan's pretty much coming together how I anticipated it would. All I'm going to do, the shower's pretty much done, the toilet's done, the vent for the toilet's done. I'm doing the vanity right now. It's working out, it's just a pain in the butt. Get all together. I spilled the chemicals, so everything smells really bad. So cross-eyed every now and then. It's okay.
It's not.
Yeah.
That's terrible. It's
No,
really cold.
I don't know why they
It's
can't make PVC glue and stuff not smell horrible. You'd think they would come up with some better method. Anyways, now I put my last fitting together. Try fitting everything first and then get it to fit. So all I do is pipe up right there, and then the bathroom. Everything under here will be done until I decide to attach it to the main drain, which I can do later. Again, we're just trying to get this stuff done so they can insulate. Getting there. Barry's working on running some wires.
And what were you saying? He's banging stuff. He doesn't know we're recording.
Yeah.
Plus, it's hard.
Marching band going on.
Yes. So the guest bathroom, girls' bathroom is upstairs. The downstairs bathroom is right next to Tim, right here. So he's working on, let's see, the toilet shower would be off to the right, and then right above is what he's working on for the vanity. right?
Yep. I'm gonna glue these on the ground and try to slip in as one piece, which is great if it works. You only have about 10 seconds or so before the stuff gets to the point where you can't really pull it apart anymore. So if you don't get it right the first time, you end up just throwing all your pieces away. I was kind of ticked because I went and bought some pieces at Home Depot last night and thought I got 45 inch or 45 degree 3-inch pieces, which was 60. So went ahead and glued, slapped one on there, and then realized it was wrong. By the time it was glued on there pretty good, so I sat there for a while and worked it back and forth. I got it out, but it was not easy. So somebody at Home Depot stuck the wrong stuff in the wrong box, which is very common. People who work there are not exactly professionals.
Tim, I have to cut that out.
Well, it's true.
Cue music right there.
Should be done now. Well, for this part, we're not close to being done. Okay, now I just took a little video, but I was going to take a quick one too here. The plumbing I'm working on. So this is for the upstairs bath. There's my stool coming down. That's my vent. This goes over to the shower. This goes over to the vanity. And then the vanity has a vent that will combine with this vent in the attic space and go back into a 3-inch like I did on the other side. Typically you don't want to have two things come together like that. I should have had a Y here and then a Y down there. But being that these are up in the floor joists, I had to drill my holes through so I can get a pipe, ran it all the way through there like that, and then cut it to fit. So that's really the only option I have. So the chance of any clogs, I didn't do like what I like to do. I would like to tap back in here so that when you're taking a shower, it washes and cleans the pipe out. So now the stool will dump into this area, and the only thing flushing it is the stool itself. So that's a possible area for clogs and things like that. And then these lines going these directions, although they have a little bit of slope on them, I wish I could have gotten a little more. What happens over time is that soap scum builds up in there, and so in a few years that may cause a clog, but reaming it out would pretty much take care of it. So, but I use a 2-inch line instead of 1.5 inches, so that gives me an extra space for having a wet vent, and then also for scum buildup and things like that. It'll take longer before it actually causes a problem. Guys, beautify the camper for Christmas. Got our pretty Christmas lights up.
Yeah.
Cindy's gonna dance like that clear till Christmas morning.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually playing the Nintendo Party song in my head.
So honestly, has it been that bad living in a little camper like this?
No.
It's actually been pretty nice.